G'day viewers, here we are in Railroader. I think we're somewhere near Alarka, maybe, down by the river. Anyway, it doesn't actually matter because we're not here to run trains today. I got a question, actually I've had it a few times, so I thought I'd finally do a video on it. What mods are you using? Well, I need to check them all anyway because there's just been an update to the experimental branch that's introduced some new tracks and some new buildings. So I need to make sure there's no conflicts before I play again. We are halfway through the playing day, so I won't spend too long at this or I won't get my stuff delivered on time. The first and most important mod I have is Rail Loader. Now, Rail Loader is the thing that loads everything else. A lot of mods use UMM and a lot of them use Rail Loader. I go for Rail Loader over UMM. I don't even have UMM installed at the moment, but there you go. That's the Universal Mod Manager, I think, something like that. Anyway, the other one that's really important is Strange Customs. So Strange Customs provides a lot of the assets that other things use. So it also gives me the cool ability to be able to make my trains look like crap, where you can have visual condition changes as you go. Alrighty, so let's go through all of the others that are dependent on those. Now, the other one that's a big one is the stuff by Alina. So Alina's Utilities, and it does throw an exception. It has for a while, but it does actually still work. It only throws an exception here in the UI. Alina's Utilities and Alina's mod map are necessary for some of the other things that I have in here. You can get the full details over on Mods Nexus, or Nexus Mods, whatever it's called. We'll have a look at that as well. Alrighty, the first one is Alarka Junction interchange. So let's go and have a look at that. So if we get onto the map, look at that, I was nowhere near Alarka. Nowhere near it. Oh well. So Alarka Junction up here, this adds another interchange yard, which means you have 3 active in the game. And sitting up here, we have got, let's just change cameras. What are we doing back here again? Game, what you doing? What you doing, game? Okay, good, now we're in the fly camera. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of stuff here with this extra interchange yard. This is all stuff I've been shunting to put here, and I've got a train ready to go down the hill because we're halfway through the day, and yeah, you get a bunch of things from here that you need to take other places. It is just an extra challenge to have another interchange yard, because naturally you want to work from both ends, cross and go past, and the actual crossing point is Bryson. So having an interchange yard up here just makes for a bit more fun. But anyway, that's fine. Let's pop down to the AMW Alarka mod map. So that's down here at Alarka. This one's quite a big one, and this is one of the areas we might have some conflicts now, because they've introduced some new stuff here. But it looks like we're all good. So this map brings in this industry over here, and it gives you some extra trackage for messing around and sorting and what have you. And not sure if it's this one that actually gives you these extra tracks here. Maybe it is. It probably is. Gives you some extra tracks in the yard here at Alarka, which is really handy for sorting and making life happen. I think this little building over here is the one that just appeared in the update, actually, which is the little coal company over here. Has anything appeared over here? No, it's still empty. So gradually buildings are appearing in the game, but that's that one anyway. Andrew's Interchange Yard. My, are we ever jumping around? Oh, actually, let's go into CLB's assets. This is a good one because CLB's assets is the source for a lot of the buildings that the other mods use. Buildings and little bits and pieces and cool stuff that you need to make your mods visually appealing. Alright, now, Andrew's Interchange Yard mods. Now look, there are some beginnings of some new buildings over here at Andrews, which is interesting. Alright, so the interchange mod, Andrews is just over there. You can see where the passenger train is. That's the Andrews depot. Andrews Interchange Yard, so we end up with this yard up here, in addition to It's not where the interchange is. Where is the interchange? Down here. No, it's not. Alright, so this is additional yardage. And background at the interchange. Actually, where am I going? I'm going over here. Alright, don't mind me. I'm just silly. Okay. Here we go. So this one delivers you some changes to the interchange and makes it a little bit bigger, which is handy. Alright, Dillsboro populated. Now this is a good one because this really starts to bring some of these places to life. We are bumping around the railway, aren't we? So let's head down to Dillsboro. Dillsboro in the game normally only has... What are you doing there? You must be taking water. Normally only has this station. So Dillsboro populated delivers quite a bit more stuff. So it makes a little town here, basically. So we have matching our industry tracks. We have some appropriate buildings, an oil storage and an oil unloading. And we've got the little warehouse over here, and we've got a bunch of houses and some vehicles. That's what Dillsboro populated comes from. DW5's Connelly production tweaks. That one... it does give you some extra trackage actually, but not much. All it really does is down here at Connelly. Which side of the valley did I end up on then? This one. Okay, good. Down here at Connelly, you get slightly longer trackage down here. It's not much. It's maybe only 10 cars or so of extra trackage, but the things load quicker. And you can load in all 3 sidings all at once, so that helps with that. It also helps you back up here. There's another track here which this one extends as well. So it gives you this track here, which is a loading track where I load up all my sawmill stuff, and it loads that much quicker as well. These 2 sidings are both here in the game normally. You get this little short one, and you get another little short one here, which is a pain in the ass because you've got to split your train across the 2 sidings. And it doesn't all fit there, so you end up shuffling around during the day while stuff's getting loaded. This way you put it all in one track and all good. East Whittier crossover. Okay, this is a useful one. So this is down in East Whittier Yard down here. East Whittier Yard's changed a lot from mods, I have to say. It sounds like we've got a train here. Now this crossover is... Okay, that's the one going south, clearly. It's got all this stuff. It's actually this one. Alright, it's the one that this train's parked on top of, which is... Yeah, way to go. Block both main tracks. Yeah, I'm pretty clever here, but that's okay. We're just going to be dumping some stuff on here anyway, so this train has arrived here ready for dumpage. And I probably said put it in the yard without thinking about it because it's not long enough, and that's fine. But it's this crossover here which is really, really handy. Then we have the East Whittier Yard revamp, and that gives you some extra trackage over here in what was the original interchange for the game. And it connects up the sawmill, which is really handy. And we get Hewitt populated. Hewitt is up this end, isn't it? Memory? Somewhere? There it is. So it's another one of those quality of life ones where you, where are we? Let's go up and find out. There's a river, and there's Hewitt. Okay. Yeah, so it gives us some buildings here at Hewitt that make some sense of what's out here, clearly in the middle of shunting at the moment. So we get the talc and limestone building, we get another little building here, and we get the rest of the talc and limestone over here. So it just gives you some good stuff. And here is, you get to see where Alarka comes into it. So we're going to take that to Alarka Junction interchange, which, you know, it's nearer to Andrews, so, but it's going to go to Alarka, and the game just does that. It's kind of cool. Cater's Andrews repair track extension. Should have looked at that while we were at Andrews, shouldn't we? Alright. These give you these extra tracks out the back of the sheds, and maybe the second shed. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it just gives you more space to repair locomotives when that is needed, and it often is. Cater's Nantahala engine shed. We are bouncing around. So back to Nantahala. And so far the good news is all my mods are actually working properly. So let's pop down here, down to Nantahala, and we'll have a look here. Which side did we end up on? Who knows? Where's the trains? There's the river. There's the trains. Okay, good. this gives us an engine shed here at Nantahala and a few extra tracks around the joint. So normally you get that one and heading up to Andrews and this one. But you get you all of this, which is just a good place to store some locomotives that not at Andrews, and I find having a few here is handy. Then there's Nantahala banking. This one's actually a bit shit, to be honest. Let's just quickly whip up here. Got another train sitting here too, Andrews bound. This is Nantahala banking. So when I got this, from the description I thought it would be up the other end of the yard, but it's not. And interestingly, this curve here actually derails anything big, so you can't take any typical banking engines up there anyway, so it's kind of useless. You will see runaround. Okay, that's round the corner, so let's use the map to get here because it's down here. This makes shunting this area much better, okay, because you get this nifty little runaround track, which is really handy. So it doesn't matter which end you bring the cars in from anymore. You don't have to plan it out at Nantahala and try and remember. You bring them here and you can shuffle to your heart's content. Nantahala populated is the buildings that you see here. So these populated things just give it some life. They're the same buildings that you see in other places. And I think this is a new one from the game. It's just appeared here at Nantahala. Okay, cool. Pines Connelly extension. Oh, actually, I misled you. One of these builds the production tweaks, gives you more stuff. Pines Connelly extension gives you the longer tracks. Yes, sorry. That's my mistake. And Rodo populated. I never even see Rodo, to be honest. Populating, it's a bit pointless. Because, you know, the passenger trains stop there by themselves, and I don't have any contracts here, so none of my stuff stops here. But it gives you just a few buildings kicking around. Normally you only get the station. For no really apparent reason there's an engine shed here, but it's not connected. I can't remember if the engine shed came in a mod or came from the game, but there's just a few things scattered around. Little country town, just gives you an idea that there is some population here. Strange customs we've talked about. Silver interchange yard. Ah yes, silver. Silver, of course, is the initial focus of the game after you buy it. So let's just pop way down here to the interchange yard. Now, as you probably all know, if you play this game, where are we? Right, there we are. Good. All right, if you play this game, that's silver interchange right there. Naturally enough, you need to do a little bit of shunting. So it's really handy to have some dead ends for shunting into. There are hump yards as well. I've never actually managed to get those working properly, but I do use this a lot. So I'll shunt here for things like Andrews, Nantahala, Bryson, or probably Alarka on that one, Bryson on that one, Whittier and Silver. So I've got a track for each and I can put them all in the right place. Silver paper crossovers. Let's just fly up through Silver and we will have a look at this one. Now, this is, I think, the one at the top of the hill. So it gives you an extra crossover here, which is really handy. Now, this one does appear to be conflicting with the new game update, because we appear to have a new switch that's come in here from the game itself, and this crossover mod's now interfering with it. So I'm going to have to do something about that. We'll probably have to pull this mod out, unfortunately, unless there's an updated version. Dare I press the button? No, there's not. Okay, so that one hasn't been updated yet. We'll probably need to take that one out. Taking mods out is as simple as pulling them out of the mods directory. I can show you that. We'll do that shortly. Silver populated, so this is actually background here at Silver Town proper. And as you can tell, Silver's a bit of a thing. So it's quite a big town, well deserving of having a terminus passenger station. So it just makes it more believable, really, that this is a useful place to actually have passengers. And the standard catalogue of load IDs, this is one that I've put in because I'm planning on extending the industries. There's quite a lot of industry mods, and they all use the standard catalogue of load IDs. Well, not all of them. Let's just say the wankers who go it on their own don't. The ones who have a thought about anybody else apart from themselves and looking beyond their own lower equipment do actually use the standard catalogue of load IDs so that all of the mods can work together, which is really cool. Topton, you probably get the idea. It's just a couple more buildings, but let's whip up there and have a look. We'll come back down here when we look at the mod changes. It's actually funny because you see mods in the game sometimes that other people have done too. I think it's up here actually. Where did we go? Did I not click close enough to it? Oh no, I didn't. Miles away. Should have zoomed in a bit. Alright, so all it does, like the others, just gives you a few buildings kicking around, a couple of little cars, just to give the place a purpose, which is really handy. Now this one, this is great, the Western Red Marble Track rework. So coming up out of Nantahala, coming up into here is a 5% gradient. It's completely unnecessary. 5% is also somewhat unrealistic in a normal sort of railway. So this actually brings it down to a ruling grade of about 3.5, which means that you can have relatively normal trains getting up and down this thing, and you don't need to worry about having these monsters hanging around just to get up there and doing all this banking and all this other stuff. Now, if banking's your thing and you like doing it, yeah, go for your life. But this really is a game changer for this end of the yard. Alright, now what I'll have to do is, give me a moment and I'll just load up what I need to do for this, and I'll show you the screen after I get it loaded, because I don't want you rummaging around in my Windows system. Thank you. Besides, I need to see where Railroader is actually installed. Here we go. This is Railroader. So let me just add a source, because we've never used the Explorer before. It's WinExplore, not the crappy internet browser. And that one. And that. Okay. So if we have a look in here and we go into, whoops, what did I do there? Anyway, we go into mods, and I've got two. So I've got mods for the main branch, and this is a collection of mods that work with the main branch of the game. And I've also got mods for the experimental branch. So I run in the experimental branch. I haven't been back to the main for ages and not planning on it, but sooner or later it'll go mainstream. So in your mods folder, there's a copy of all of the mods that you've got in here, and this is where they live. So, and uninstalling them is as easy as deleting them from here. So if we close the game, for example, and I don't really want to save that, so I won't. I will just close it. So that'll disappear in a moment when Railroader does its thing. And then it's the crossovers, wasn't it, that was causing us a bit of a problem? Silver? Which one was it? I'm trying to figure out which one it was. Tatus, Nantahala, Silver Interchange Yard, Andrews Interchange Yard. Silver paper crossover, there it is. So we will just delete that one because there isn't a new version, and we'll start Railroader again. And hopefully now we can see what the game intended to have for that trackage. Now, interestingly, when the track looks like that, it often still works, even though it's not visually good. So we can get rid of that Windows browser now, wherever that's hiding. Let's get rid of that. All right, now let's go to camera, map, and we're going to want to go back down to silver, and hopefully this has fixed it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to dive into it in a little more depth and see what's going on. Oh, there is a new Y down here at silver too that the game has kindly put in for us. So has that fixed that trackage? Let's pop down here and have a look. Yeah, there we go. So the game, so the crossovers were just here, and the game introduced this new track here, which it kind of does the same thing, I guess, but it's probably not quite as efficient actually, because this one brings a crossover in this direction, which is what you mostly need when you're coming up this way, rather than just extending this. But yeah, that's an okay change, I suppose. What'll probably happen is the happy person that makes the crossovers will probably just move them down here, and then we can have them back again, and that'll be fine. So where do I get my mods from? Let me just, I mostly use Mod Nexus, or Nexus mods I should say. So let's just bring this over here and make it the right size, and then we can actually put it on as a source so you can see it, because that would be handy, wouldn't it? And Nexus mods, there we go. Of course it's full of advertising, but that's okay. And if we go into games, and there's lots of games, but if you just search for Railroader, there's tons of mods on this thing. And if we go to Railroaders mods, or Railroader building placer, there you go, you can put your own mods on there. Of course this is running other people's ads, but that's okay. Hopefully this will just, there we go, and now I'll be able to go to Railroader, there we go. And this is what we want to see. There's a ton of mods. So there's additional locomotives, there's livery packs for trains and coaches. There's quite a lot of those coming up now. I must explore these because I'd like to have some colour variants. Oh, that looks nice with the oil tankers and things. There's a lot of people making their own engines now as well. Most of those need the Unity Mod Manager to go with them. Let's have a look at what's new this week. Salty's Canadian Pacific Heritage Pack, Oregon Pacific and Eastern 19, so there's a bunch of locomotive changes and things like that. The lots of useful things, visible passengers, that's an interesting one. And you'll see there's a lot of very prolific people who are doing mods now, so they're all pretty good, like Heavy Iron's Hump Yard, for example. I haven't actually been able to get those doing quite what I want them to do. This looks interesting. Foxy's Alarka copy mod. Foxy is one of the really prolific ones who makes really awesome mods, visual and track ones that are just really handy. So often changes the landscape too, which a lot of other people don't bother with, but Foxy makes it make sense. Alright, so there you go. That's where I find my mods. I will put a link in the chat, and excuse all of the ads and stuff that are coming up with that. They're not from me, they are just there on the Nexus Mods site. That's how they pay for it. So yeah, put up with a few ads and get some stuff for free. Or you can actually become a member of Nexus Mods and you can pay your way through and not have to have ads. Oh, actually I just saw there's a new thing from the game. So this isn't a mod, this is a new extension across the river. I wonder what that's for. Another industry? Or is it for... Oh, okay. Isn't there a third track here? Clearly I had nothing on it if there was. Maybe not. But this is where the new Y's gone in. So this is a new extension from the game, this Y. And it's a place where you can turn trains and turn your passenger trains. Looks like you can get a fairly decent one into there, which is cool. So if you like running your trains the right way around, you can turn them now, which is pretty cool. And it joins in up here, just at the bridge. Also pretty cool. That's good because it's pretty close to the passenger train, so you could just now run down here, push it in one end, pump it out the other end, and run it back the other way. That saves you running the locomotive around. I usually run the locomotive around, but you know, if you like doing that sort of thing, that's fine. Alright, well there you go. Those are all the mods I run. There are some absolutely amazing ones out there, so feel free to explore. There are some I've been looking at recently that need Unity Mod Manager, so I'll probably chuck that into the mix too in the near future, but not for the moment. Now, one caveat to bear in mind with mods, there are two things. Firstly, this game's in early access and I'm running on the experimental branch, which makes it even stronger. So it changes constantly. Mods can break the game. They really can. They can really do some nasty things to you sometimes. So before you sit down for a big, long 12-hour play session, check your mods. Make sure they're all still working. It's like that one back there that we looked at that I had to take out the crossover mod because it was interfering with some new track that the game's put in, which is a crossover here, which serves more or less the same purpose. It's just the other way around. Alrighty, that's about it then. So yeah, thanks for the questions to the people who asked what mods do you run. So there you go, I run a few of them and I've taken you on a brief tour. Alright, if you've got any questions, chuck them down below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. If you do get into mods in Railroader, it is a bit suck it and see. So it's a bit like an icy bowl. You don't know if it's going to be a good flavour or not when you get it. Try it out. What I'd suggest you do is learn where your save files are, copy them, test the mods, and then if something bad happens, you haven't lost your save games. Alrighty, have fun, folks. See you later. Bye.
We played a game.